and welcome back to Football Made Simple. At just 20 years of age, Jadon Sancho has already established himself as one of the best players in the world, having enjoyed 3 stellar seasons with Dortmund after forcing his way out of Man City. Now, rumours have been swirling that the young Englishman could be heading back to Manchester, this time to the Red Half, with rumoured transfer fees north of £100 million. But what would he bring to the club tactically if the move is completed? In this video, we take a look. Just before then, a special shout out to my Patreons for helping to make this video possible. Thank you to everyone who responded to the poll, and if you have the means and want to support, head on over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple and you'll get access to rewards like early access to videos, exclusive videos, and much more. Throughout the video, we'll be using stats to assess Sancho, and a great place you can get player stats and much more is the OneFootball app, which is available for Android and iOS. You can get it absolutely free through the link in the description below, and a special thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring the video. Sancho is a fairly versatile attacking player, and has shown that in his positional fluidity this season. In 32 starts in league and cup competitions, he has played every position behind the striker, with 8 starts in the attacking midfield position, 10 on the left-hand side, but his most commonly used position at the moment is out on the right, making 14 starts there. Let's take a look at what he's been doing at Dortmund, how he compares to United's current wide options, and how he could influence United's lineup. This season at Dortmund, he has been as productive as ever, with 20 goals and 18 assists across the league and Champions League, finishing as the 3rd top scorer and 2nd highest assister in the Bundesliga. And Sancho not only plays in different positions, he excels in all of them. In 8 starts through the centre, he has scored 7 and assisted 2. In 10 starts on the left, he has scored 6 and assisted 5, and out on the right, he has scored 7 and assisted 6. And one of the most interesting things about Sancho is how he interprets the role of a wide man. Where Rashford and Greenwood, the first choice pairing at the end of the season, are more like forwards who are playing wide, Sancho is and always has been a winger. We see this in the build-up phases of play, where United's wide players stay higher up the pitch, ready to run in behind, while Sancho often drops deeper on both sides to get on the ball in these deeper regions as a passing option to begin the play. This also has the knock-on effect of creating space higher up the pitch, which was particularly helpful as Royce, when fit, played as the attacking midfielder but was happy to move into this created space. We see this in the stats, as Sancho averaged 40 touches in the defensive and midfield regions, which is in contrast to 25 for Greenwood, 22 for James and Rashford. When he advances higher, he's dangerous on either side of the pitch. Dortmund recognise this, and even at his tender age, he's their talisman, and Dortmund look to find him as often as possible, and he gets into good spaces often. As a result, of players with 1,000 minutes or more, he's the second most passed to option at Dortmund with 77, as he can take control of the game. This is in comparison with 7th, 13th and 17th for United's current options. He's great at receiving the ball on the half turn, meaning that he's ready to go infield with a pass if he's being closed down, but can also see if he has the space to turn. And once he does turn, he has a variety of options in his arsenal. He has formed a good relationship with his fullbacks who know when to overlap to give the passing options and when to stay deeper to allow the 1-versus-1. And 1-2s in general are a way that he creates space for himself, often drawing in his man before using the forward or attacking midfielder to play a wall pass and receive the return ball. But if he's left 1-versus-1 against the fullback, this spells bad news for most defenders. A combination of explosive first few steps, technical ability, and spatial awareness mean that he often gets past his man to then progress to the next phase of play. He completed more dribbles than Greenwood and James even attempted, whilst outdoing Rashford in total volume and percent completed. But we also see slight differences between his role on the right and on the left. On the right, he likes to use these 1-2s to get on the ball from wide, where he can look for the cross into the heads of the forwards, and his 3 attempted crosses per game are only bettered by Dan James. However, it is in this inside right channel where he would rather be operating, and he creates several chances through cutbacks into the forwards and on-rushing midfielders from here. But from this position, he can also look for goal, making it hard for the opponent to predict his next move. Now on the left-hand side, he tends to drift central much more often, looking to operate in zone 14. He's perfectly comfortable here and is much more involved in the build-up play than most wingers, attempting 64 passes compared to just under 34 for Rashford, James and Greenwood. This may be because, while Sancho is quick, it's not the blistering pace of many elite wide men, so he has developed his technical ability in tight spaces. But with men ahead of him, he has the ability to pick out the right pass and is an elite creator with 0.45 expected assists per 90, in addition to over 2.5 key passes per 90. Again, this shows Sancho doesn't stay high, waiting to apply the final touch, but works hard to help the build-up to the chance, with his 2.2 passes into the box being the second highest in the Bundesliga. But when he gets high up the pitch, he's lethal. He doesn't shoot much, but when he does, he's decisive, averaging a goal after every 3 shots. As a result, he drastically outperforms his expected goals, and this will probably come down a bit with time, but it still shows what an elite finisher he is. So, how would he fit in at United? If Solskjaer were to stick to his preferred 4-2-3-1 in the late season, it seems a pretty straightforward move into the right wing slot. His presence would open up more room for Fernandes and Pogba due to opponents also being worried about him. However, even on the right, Sancho tends to drift infield, and Wan-Bissaka is not great at providing offensive width. In contrast to Sancho, who thrived playing with an offensive fullback in Hakimi, so it'll be interesting to see how Solskjaer deals with this. In the alternative formation, the 5-3-2, Sancho would probably be a forward, but undoubtedly he would operate as the deeper of the two, as he did in Favre's 3-4-2-1. His willingness to drop and pick up the ball deeper could help United's transition game. Lastly, Solskjaer could opt for the 4-3-3 with Fernandes and Pogba using more of a one-up, one-down mechanism to maintain midfield stability. Overall, if United complete this signing, I would give it a 4.5 stars overall. But I want to know how you think he would fit in, and whether this would be a good signing. Drop it down below. And if you want to support Football Made Simple, head on over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple. A special shout out to my current Patreons, FMR, C7H1, William Gammon, Jesse Kassebaum, Chris Bryant, Joey Jenkins, Patrick Cairns, Cho Chung, Alex Postatny, Nada, Ethan, Lex Depan, Namdi, Edgar Stewart, Puyan Aslani, and Vince Campagna.